Now let's see here. No. I can't seem to get this to work. I don't know. Welcome to Wednesday's Coffee and Conversation. Good morning, friends, and thanks for joining us on another Wednesday for another Coffee and Conversation. Grab yourself a nice drink, coffee, tea, and gather your family around if you can, or call up a friend in a responsible way, and let's spend some time together discussing and reflecting on Sunday's message. We've been in a series called Free, a series through the book of Galatians that focuses all on the idea of we are free from religion, free from trying to find our own salvation, trying to be good enough was the theme this past Sunday. Instead, we live our lives in response to God's goodness and His grace for us. And that whole extension cord thing, that was from Sunday's message. So if that made no sense to you, go back and watch Sunday's teaching from Pastor Warner. But we want to provide you with 3 questions to discuss and talk about in order to put the teaching into practice in our everyday lives, to think about it in concrete terms, think about it in personal ways of how this teaching influences you. So this past Sunday, the message was free from being good enough. And Pastor Warner talked about how we sometimes just strive to be good enough, strive to earn our salvation, strive to earn our place within the church, within Christianity, within God's kingdom. And so here are 3 questions that reflect on that. Question number 1, do you exhibit any signs of a try-harder faith? Do you exhibit any signs of a try-harder faith? So what is that about? Well, on Sunday, Pastor Warner shared 4 signs that you're living a try-harder faith, where you're just trying to, in his phrase, white-knuckle it, where you're just trying to grit it and do your best and work really hard and achieve your place within faith. Well, the 4 signs he talked about were where you get frustrated because it doesn't work. You feel exhausted because it's just so heavy and you're always busy and always trying to work it out yourself. Number 3, you act fake. You end up just pretending and acting like you have it all together, just saying, yep, everything's good. Or number 4, you end up conceited or defeated. These are 4 sure signs that you are living a try-harder faith, where you're trying to achieve it for yourself. You're trying to be good enough on your own. Well, that's our first question. Reflect and think about, do I exhibit any of those signs? Do I feel frustrated or exhausted? Or am I just trying to act like I'm religious and pious and good? Or do I end up feeling just defeated and conceited? So reflect on that, number 1. Question number 2 for you. What unnecessary rules do we impose on one another? This comes down to, again, that idea of trying and to be good enough and to strive after faith and salvation on our own. At times, we actually put rules and regulations in place for others to follow, that we say, you have to do this in order to receive God's grace, in order to be saved, in order to be a Christian and part of our community. What are some unnecessary rules that we actually put in place that hinder people receiving God's grace? Interrupt people actually receiving and living after God's love in their lives. So that's question number 2, another real heavy, hard one for us. Final question number 3 is this. How can you nurture the character of the Holy Spirit this week? In the end, Pastor Warner shared that instead of trying to, plug the extension cord into itself to generate power, to deliver on our own power, our own ability, just trying to be good enough, just trying to get there on our own, instead we're called to tap into the power of the Holy Spirit. So how can you actually nurture that this week? What can you do? What habits can you form? What practices can you try to go after in order to lean into the power of the Holy Spirit and let the Spirit renew your life and exhibit the gifts of the Spirit within you? So those are your 3 questions for this week. It was a great series through the book of Galatians. So if you missed any of the weeks, you can always go back to our website and find them there. God bless you, church.